Hi everyone, welcome to today's session number 2. So in this session, we will be discussing about SAP system architecture and SAP user interfaces. So here I have listed out agenda of today's session. Okay, and in our last session, we discussed about SAP, introduction about SAP Business Suite, and EWM functionalities. So these were the subtopics were discussed in our last session. Before we start today's session, any question, anyone? All right, so let's start with SAP system architecture. So here, uh, what is system architecture? What is SAP system architecture? So this is more into technical, but as SAP functional consultant, we should have some basic understanding of system architecture. That is the reason why we are discussing here. Actually, in real time, SAP basis consultants are responsible for setting up system architecture. Okay, so here we have two types of architecture. One is technical architecture and another one is landscape architecture. So what is technical architecture? We will try to understand from this infographics. So in technical architecture here, can we see here, and it is also called as a three-tier client or server architecture, because here we have three layers. One is presentation layer, application layer, and database layer, right? So we as consultants and business users, we have access to presentation layer. Okay, so by using different user interfaces like GUI and Fiori app, which is part of presentation layer, we access SAP. So here it is a presentation layer. Then the second layer is application layer, where actually SAP software is resides. Okay, right? And the fourth layer is database layer. So whatever data generated whenever we carry out configurations and then transactions and all that data is stored in the database here, and that is part of database layer, right? So let's deep dive into this one. So here we have presentation layer. So let's highlight some of the important points related to presentation layer. So provides a graphical screen to user. So if we see here, whether it is Fiori app or the GUI, let me open so you will have more clarity. So here, let's say this screen, any of these, just to show you how it looks like. Right, so as you can see, this is graphical user interface, GUI, a user interface, right? So what it says, so provides a graphical screen to user, then a user enters data on the screen, shows process data to the screen, because by using GUI and graphical user interface, we create organizational data, configuration data, transactional data, master data, all types of data, right? So, so here what it says, the user enters data on the screen and then shows process data to the user. So, for example, if we are creating a purchase order, for example, then as soon as we create a purchase order number is generated, which is nothing but a transactional data, right? So when we enter, just let me take you to purchase order screen just to show you one example, like ME21N here. So in order to create a purchase order, vendor information is entered here, right? And then what materials we are entering, all that is entered. And then uh, uh, as soon as all mandatory fields are filled up, then we can create a purchase order. So here what it says, so shows process data to the user. So this is carried out in presentation layer. So all user interfaces are part of presentation layer, right? And then the second layer is application layer. So here actually as the in this layer SAP software resides, we can say, right? So here process data in this layer, application layer, process data using application logic, communicate with both layers. Both layers means presentation layer and database layer, read or write from database. So as you can see in this layer, user enters data, and that data is processed in application layer. And whatever data, as a result of processing data, whatever new data is generated, so here it stores and provides data here. So all that data is stored here in database layer, that is stores data. And as you can see here, user enters data, then processing data and stores and provides data, then requests data from database, all that. This is how these layers communicate with each other. Okay, so this is about technical architecture. This is all about technical architecture, right? So for more detail, you can discuss, because from functional consultant point of view, we should know what is technical architecture and and landscape architecture. So whatever I just explained, same I have provided in the form of paragraphs, so you can read and understand from this paragraph. Okay, so if we talk about ECC Business Suite, in the presentation layer we have GUI. In the application layer we have ECC 6.0 EHP7, and in the database layer, because in ECC we can use any database, right? It may be Oracle, MySQL, DB2, or any, right? So in case of ECC, you can see in presentation layer, GUI, we have GUI, and then in application layer, here the actual is SAP business application, then here the database. If we talk about SAP S4 HANA, so because here we have two user interfaces, one is GUI and another one is Fiori app. So in presentation layer, we have these two, and then in application layer, our main application, that is SAP S4 HANA 2020 or 2021, which is the latest one, and then the database which is used is HANA database we have. Okay, right. So as you can see, in a nutshell, any actions you do, meaning whenever we are executing any transaction, right? So actions you do on the presentation layer is passed to the application layer for processing, which would retrieve any relevant data from the database layer, and the application layer processes the data and present it to you via the presentation layer. Okay, so this is about presentation technical architecture, right? Another architecture we have is landscape architecture. So this technical architecture is standard. So we always have this structure. Okay, but this landscape architecture here to understand, let's look at this infographics. Right, look at this one, right? So in case of landscape, what happened? As you can see here, there are three systems. One is development system, second one is quality or testing system, and the third one is production system. If our company is using three systems, then it is called as three system landscape architecture. So this three system landscape architecture is very commonly used. Big companies can use four system landscape. One is development system, second quality, third one is pre-production, fourth one is production. And in maybe medium-sized companies, they may use only two system landscape. One is development, another one is production. So based on number of system used, it is called as two system landscape, three system landscape, or four system landscape, right? So minimum two, maximum four. And the most commonly used landscape is three system landscape. Okay, so as you can see, in every landscape, we have the technical architecture, whether in all our development system, quality system, or the production system, you can see we have three layers: a presentation layer, application layer, and database layer, right? So this is about landscape architecture. So what happened in these? So as we have just discussed about three system landscape, one is development server or system, then second one is quality, and the third one is production. In this development system, as per business requirement, they create a number of clients, right? So for example, look at this one. In this development system, you can see it's like, let's say this is our, let's compare this with our computer hard disk. All right, let's compare these systems with computer hard disk. One development system I am comparing with one hard disk, right? So what we do with our system. So for example, here, let me show you one example to have better understanding. This is my PC, right? And in this PC, I have one hard disk, and my hard disk is virtually divided into three drives, right? As per my requirement, because there is a purpose for every drive. Normally, for example, I have divided my hard disk into three drives, that is C, D, and E. And in C, I store program files. And in D, let's say training files. In E, maybe personal file, for example. Right? For different purposes, I have created. So similarly, here in SAP, because as I said, SAP basis consultants are responsible. So let me brief you about the consultants as well, because we are coming across these terms very frequently. So what I will do is, let me discuss. Let's discuss about consultants. User interfaces, consultant, system architecture. Okay, not here. User database, business suites. Okay, I think it is in projects. Let me see. Oh, I think here in level. Yeah, right. Consultant roles. Okay, so here in SAP, we have three types of consultants. One is functional consultant, second one is technical consultant, and the third one is technological consultant. Sometimes both of them are also called as technical consultants. Okay, so functional consultants, like for all functional modules, like we have SD, EWM, FICO, right, PP, and TM. These are functional consultant, functional modules. And for functional modules, we have functional consultants. So similarly, for technical modules like ABAP, right? So technical modules like SAP ABAP is a technical module, and the consultant for technical modules are called as technical consultant. Similarly, we have basis or technology support, right? So normally we say like hardware and networking engineer, right? So in SAP, they are called as basis consultant. They are called as basis consultant. So these three, based on the modules, they are called as functional consultant, technical consultants, and the technological consultants or SAP administrator. So setting up SAP system architecture, whatever we are discussing here, it comes under the scope of basis consultant or the technology consultant. Okay. So setting up all these one, right? So what we were discussing, yeah. So this is about the different consultants and their roles. And for functional consultants, as we know, we don't need to do any coding and all. It is all about logical things. And whenever there is a development or coding is required, we have the ABAP consultants. So who are responsible for development and coding as per business requirement. And this basis consultants or technological consultants, they are nothing but hardware and networking engineers, right, for SAP. All right. All right. So we discussed about this technical architecture, and yeah. So what we were comparing our system hard disk, right? So let's say I'm comparing my system with let's say this systems or servers. So what we are doing with our system, as per our requirement, we are creating virtual partitions, right? Which are nothing but drives like C, D, and E. So similarly, here in SAP systems, as per business requirement, basis consultants, basis consultants, they create different clients like configuration testing client, ABAP development client, unit testing client, right? In development. Similarly, in quality, they have, and then production. So here I have listed out most commonly used clients in these. For example, like in development, they create development client, configuration client, testing client, and these clients with a three character number, 3-digit number. For example, here, can you see whenever I'm trying to create a login, can you see a client number? And here it is showing as 800. It's a client 800. Client 800 is for training purpose always. So as you can see here, and the client 800 is for training purpose always. Let me show you the number series which is followed. Okay, so client 800. So here for client we have another file. Let me logical system. Yeah, this is client. Now we are discussing about client. So as you see, whenever we are trying to log in, the client user password comes and we enter these credentials, right? So we are discussing about this particular client. So here, yeah, so here if you see, right, here I have listed out. So normally in development system, 4 clients are created, like configuration, which is also known as golden client, then development client, sandbox, and unit testing client. And here the companies they use, so they may be using 100 series or 101 like this, or if they are using 100 series, then 100, 200, 300, or if they are using 101, then 102, 103, like they give the number. So as you can see here, the training client, which is created in the quality system, always is an 800 number. So we are using a training system. That is the reason why the client is 800 here. Okay. So the client is 800. So what is the purpose of client? So here, So here, because as you can see here, like in our computer, we have different drives. So similarly, we have different clients there, and in different we have created different drives for different purposes. Similarly, clients for different purposes, like 800 client for testing purpose, 100 client for configuration purpose, and then 600 client for production, like this, right? So, so this is the concept of client which we have. So let me show you. Right. So here, so we discussed about SAP system architecture, technical architecture, and landscape architecture, and SAP client. Right? What is client and all that we have discussed. So as we proceed, we will have more clarity. Okay, we will have more clarity here. We are just trying to understand technical aspects of SAP. So for this, technical consultants are responsible, but as a functional consultant, we should have basic understanding of SAP system architecture, technical architecture, landscape architecture, and client. Right. So any question before we jump to next part? So we discuss about this one and the client. Now we are discussing about user interface, then Fiori app, and then a transaction code that we will be using. Yes. Any question related to system architecture, or whatever we discussed till now, or whatever we discuss tomorrow? So it seems no question, then let's proceed. Let's discuss next topic. Now we are discussing about user interfaces, right? So like GUI and all. So let's go to, first we try to understand what is user interface. So user interface, the short form is UI. UI from a software perspective describes the interface between user and the device. It aims at maximum efficiency during use. So in different business suite, for example, in ECC, we have GUI and then NetWeaver Business Client. And in ECC, Fiori app was available, but it was not up to the mark. It was not that advanced. So that is the reason why the Fiori app was not generally used, but it was available even with ECC. Okay, so these are the three user interfaces. Similarly, in S4 HANA, we have GUI, NetWeaver Business Client, and the Fiori available. But in case of if the clients they are going with the cloud deployment option, then for them only the Fiori app as a user interface is available. They don't have access to. They will not because if they are using SAP S4 HANA cloud. So for SAP S4 HANA on-premise, three user interfaces are available, but for SAP S4 HANA cloud, only Fiori is available. Okay. So now we will discuss about what is GUI, what is Fiori app. Okay. So before that one, let's try to understand SAP users. So whoever is using SAP, that is called as SAP user. And SAP users can be broadly, classified into two. One is business user, and second one is SAP consultant. Because these are two users we have, or two types of users. Business users are nothing but the staff of the company, which is actually using SAP for their day-to-day business transactions. For example, creating purchase order, doing good receipt, right? All that. So those are business users who are actually using SAP for their day-to-day business transactions. We are consultants. So again, we have SAP functional consultants, technical consultants, technological consultants, and even testing consultants are also there, right? Or even testing consultants are also there. So these are the SAP users. Okay, so we should be now we should be aware of whenever we use term SAP user, they may be business users or consultants. Okay, now let's discuss about graphical user interface. So this is graphical user interface, whatever we see here. So let me log in again this graphical user interface in both. So here, so today I'm going to share a link to download these to download and install this SAP logon for decentralized EWM, and for embedded one I'm going to share credentials for remote desktop. Okay, all that I'm going to share for practices. So now, so here first I'm going to open this decentralized EWM. As you can see here, I have these two servers. Let me delete this one just to avoid confusion. Delete this one as well. Right. So now you can see here we have one ECC system, another one is SCM system, and the third one we will try to access through remote desktop, that is SAP S4 HANA. So, but the procedure to log in all SAP Business Suite is same. Okay, now I'm going to log in this one. So as soon as I click on log in, as you can see here, client 800, user and password. So let me enter my user and password. This is now I entered. Now I log in GUI. So this is my GUI, graphical user interface. Now we will be trying to understand different elements of this GUI. Okay, let's go to GUI. So SAP GUI is an acronym of the term SAP Graphical User Interface. Okay, the short form of graphical user interface is GUI, which is part and parcel of presentation layer of SAP. We just discussed about system architecture. In that one we have presentation layer. So what it says, it is part and parcel of presentation layer of SAP. Ideally, there are three layers that we just discussed, right? So SAP GUI is an important ERP tool that allows SAP users to use various software applications by providing easy to use graphical user interface. So as you can see here, we have different applications. Like for example, in logistics, we have different modules which are nothing but applications in logistics. So similarly, in accounting related modules or applications, we have an HR related here. So here, SAP GUI is an important ERP tool that allows SAP users to use various software applications. Software applications, nothing but these modules here. Okay, and then right. So software applications by providing easy to use graphical interface, as you can see here, which is user friendly. We can easily navigate. So this screen is a graphical user interface. So, right. So and runs on operating systems. So this graphical user interface is compatible with different operating systems like Windows, Linux, Apple, right, Unix, and so on and so forth. Okay. So and this SAP component, this graphical user interface dominates a major share of the worldwide market share and offers convenient accessibility to the views, format, applications, and all. Okay, so and it also allows users to remotely access SAP central server of an organization in the network. So GUI is part of presentation layer. So now we are discussing about GUI family. Okay, so here we have SAP GUI for Windows. So the GUI which we are using, this is because in my system I have Windows operating system. So for Windows operating system, we have so based on operating system, different GUIs are available. So one is SAP GUI for Windows, and this operating system, this GUI is compatible with Windows operating system. And this particular GUI offers the most capabilities, right? And there are some other GUIs like SAP GUI for Java. This is compatible with Linux, Unix, Mac, and Windows, right? And SAP GUI for Java environment. And the third one is SAP GUI for HTML. So which is compact with browsers, right? Internet Explorer and Firefox. So nowadays we call it as Fiori app, right? So for this, internet transaction server is required. So there are three types of GUI we have. Now let's deep dive and try to understand different elements of GUI. For example, now, so here, this is the main screen or easy access screen or home page, all right? So here we have, menu. As you can see here, we have different menus, right? So these are called as menu, and then that is the reason why it is called as menu bar here. This bar is called as menu bar, where we have menus, and then we have standard tools. So these are called as standard tools, and this bar is called as standard toolbar, right? And then we have title bar. As you can see here, SAP Easy Access. This is title for this main screen. So if I go to any other screen, for example, just see, I'm going to purchase order screen, there the title will change. Can you see now the title is showing like create purchase order? So the title is also changing.
Is it shortcut keys, sir, to check the menu in one way, right?
No, that what I use is transaction code that we are going to discuss, which is nothing but shortcut key. Okay, like I put ME21N. So that we will be discussing here itself. So here, as you can down the line, that transaction code we will be discussing in detail. As you can see here, transaction codes and all. Right.
Yes, I know the transaction.
Yes, right. So now, so here this is called as easy access, right? And then we have this line just below that one. Let me go back. This line. This is called as application tool. So these are also called tools, but they are changed based on applications. And this bar is called as application toolbar. For example, if I go to any application, so you will see this also changes. So this time, these tools are coming, right? And the title is also changed. So that is the reason why this is called as application toolbar. Okay, so we are familiarizing ourselves with these elements and terms. And then this one is called as command bar, where we put transaction code. What is transaction code? That we will see here. Okay, so let me log in or S4 HANA. Now let me log in a remote desktop to show you there as well. In remote desktop, connect. Through remote desktop, now I'm accessing SAP S4 HANA. This is remote desktop. Let's log in. Same logon icon. And then here we have log on. Now I'm accessing 2020. Same credentials varies. Right. Now, yeah. So we were discussing about application toolbar. After application toolbar, we have command bar. So let me minimize this one and compare this. Right. So this is called as command bar. Right. So here we actually type commands or transaction codes or shortcut keys that we will see. And then here at the bottom we have a status bar. Can you see here? This is called as the last one, this one where we have SAP and then 800 here. This is called as status bar. Okay, this is called as status bar. Now let's discuss in this particular standard toolbar is also known as function a system function bar. Okay, so anyway, you I think I have already shared this document. You can go through it. Now let's discuss about all these things, how to navigate. Now here I'm just again trying to log in. So log off again. Now I'm first of all I need to click on this icon SAP log on. So what is this SAP log on? We are trying to understand. Okay, so this is what is SAP log on? SAP log on, it is a Windows program to log on to SAP system on Windows PC. It mediates between SAP system and the SAP GUI user interface. It displays a list of all available SAP systems. As you can see here, it is showing list of all available SAP systems like ECC, then SAP S4 HANA 1610, 1909, 2020. So it lists out all these one, and then there are different releases of SAP logon like SAP 710, 740, 750, and we are using 740 here. Right? So this is about SAP logon. So when I try to log in a particular server, then we have SAP login here. So what is this SAP login? Here we have client, user, password. So as you can see here, this is test training client. So that is the reason why it is 800, then user and the password. So let me enter. So as we discuss about technological consultants and the security consultants, they are responsible for creating users and passwords for SAP users or maintaining. Right. So let me log in this one. Okay, so the password is incorrect. Okay, right. So now I log in. So this is the screen we have. Now in this screen we have easy access screen. So this is our easy access screen, right? So like for any website they have home page, right, or main page like this they call. But in SAP it is SAP easy access, which is nothing but home page or home screen or initial screen. So these are different synonyms which are used for this screen, which is nothing but SAP easy access, which is also known as home page, home screen, or initial screen. Then now let's go to SAP menu. So as you can see here, this is SAP menu we have. Now we are discussing about this SAP menu, right? And in this one, we have different nodes or folders, right? So or right. So SAP menu. So here it is SAP Standard Menu, right? Which is also called as easy access menu or hierarchical menu tree. Okay, and then under this one we have these folders. So these folders are called as node or tree, folder or menu. And under this one again, for example, if I go into logistics node, if I click, you can see sub nodes, which are nothing but modules under that one, and those are called as sub node or node item, tree item, transactions, and right. So they are called as like this. So now here SAP menu. So after SAP menu, you can see here there is a favorite as well. As we know the favorite purpose of favorite, for example, right? So even in our emails, we create one favorite folder where we keep all our files, whichever we want to put. So similarly here in easy access also, we can keep, or we can create folders, or we can also keep some transactions or links here. Okay, so for example, if I want to create anything now, let's say okay, in this favorite folder, I'm just creating a new folder. For example, let's say this is insert folder. I'm creating a folder name with a batch 70, let's say, for example, b hash 70. This is the folder I'm creating. As you can see, this folder is created. And in this folder, for example, let's say SAP user, let's say he's a user of materials management, and in order to create a purchase order, he needs to follow this menu path, or he needs to remember the transaction code. What is transaction code? That we will discuss, okay, just after discussing this one. So let's say he doesn't remember transaction code, then he needs to navigate like this. So he just go to menu, then logistics, then purchasing, purchase order, create, and then click on this one. Then it will take to create purchase order screen, right? So instead of this one, what he can do is he can select this one and then put in favorite. So for favorite, what we can do is we can right click, and when we right click, you can see here it is coming this option, add to favorite, or you can see this one plus a star, add to favorite. So different similarly here different options are there, add, right? So now I'm adding this particular transaction to favorite. Now you see this is now added to this one. From here you can drag and drop to your folder. Now it is available in your folder. So now directly you can access that for this particular transaction. So in this way you can create your own favorite folder and keep all that one. Okay, now let's go to next element here, which is this one. So we discussed about easy SAP menu, then favorite. So this SAP menu is a standard menu we have. However, based on the user profile, right? So there is a, so this is SAP menu, right? Now we discuss about this one. Now we are discussing about user menu. So this user menu, it is user specific. SAP menu is a standard menu. SAP menu is a standard menu. Now we are discussing about user menu. It is a user specific menu as per role. For example, users of consultants, they will have access only to module. They will not have access to other modules. Similarly, consultants will have access only to configurations. They will not have access to transactions. So based on that one, so user specific menu. So whatever access they have, all that information is available in user access menu. Okay, so this is user menu. We are here, and then this is here is SAP menu, or which is a standard menu. Okay, and then what next we have? Right. So similarly here we have SAP Business Workplace. So can you see here? This is the SAP Business Workplace. So when I click here, so what is this? So this it provides a standard working environment in which every SAP user can. Can anyone tell me about SAP user? Who are the SAP users? Business users and consultants, right? Business users and consultants are SAP users. So it provides a standard working environment in which every SAP user. So when we say SAP user, business users and consultants. Okay, so every SAP user can carry out their share of the business and communication process in this one. Okay, so now let's discuss about this one. Now I'm going to Let me log in again. My voice is clear, right?
Yes, now it's clear.
Yeah, I think there was some disconnect for maybe 30 seconds, right? So, right, let me again. System issue. Okay, no, do you want to log off? No. So let's go back, right? So what we were discussing about this one. Now we are discussing after user. Now we are discussing about session, or can you see here?
SAP user.
SAP user we discussed, right? SAP
Yes,
user,
yes.
right. SAP user. Now we are discussing about sessions. For example, I have right now I opened one session. This is one session. So similarly, I can open as per standard settings maximum up to 6 sessions, and I can carry out different activities. So this is my session 1. Now I'm opening another session. So total 2 sessions I have here. Similarly, I can have 3 sessions for up to 6 sessions. As you can see here now 3 sessions, and in these 3 sessions I can carry out different activities. For example, you can see here this is one session, and then the second one, right? Right. This is right now. I have opened 3 sessions. Can you see here? Total 3 sessions are open. 3 sessions. See, up to 6 sessions we can open as a standard settings, and even more also possible, right? So in first session, let's say easy access is open. In the second session, I I will try to carry out or create purchase order transaction, for example, like create purchase order ME21 and different screen. This is one screen, this is second, and this is one, the third one. In the third screen, I may have another transaction. You see, different transactions can be carried out, different activities can be carried out, and such as per standard settings, we can open maximum up to 6 sessions. And now 3 sessions are open. This is called as session, right? So this is called as session. So multiple SAP sessions. So there are different options to create. So we can use a shortcut key Control M, right? Or similarly, different other options are available. If you see here, this when we click, a new session will open. The fourth session open now. This is the fourth session. So by clicking on this particular icon, we can click a new session. Similarly, we have in systems, by using a new GUI window, if we click, and then another session will open. Now the fifth session is open. So this is called as session, and as per standard settings, maximum 6 sessions can be, or the system will allow us to open 6, and in if we change the setting, then even more than 6 also possible. So these are called as sessions. Now go to next point. Multiple, right? Now let's discuss about system status. System status. So what is this system status? So I'm going to, as you can see here, currently total 5 sessions are open. I'm going to close them, and let's keep only one session open. And to open a new session, shortcut key is there. Even to close the existing sessions, we have shortcut keys that we will be using one by one. Okay, so now we have only one session, and in this session, if you look at this one, if you go to system and then click on status, if you want to know about technical detail of your SAP system, right? Whether you are using ECC or S4 HANA or other technical details, you want to know the releases and versions of S4 HANA and all. So all that information is available here in systems status, right here. So as you can see here, it is saying database system, which is HDDB, right? All. And if you want to see more details, click on this. So, and here you will come to know about that we are using SAP S4 HANA on premise 2020 release we are using, right? And SAP Fiori for HANA, we will see that one as well. So these are the product versions we have, and then component version. So which is nothing but technical things, right? Like normally we see if in our system, which operating system we are using, right? Which MS Office we are using. If we want to see those technical details, similar to SAP, these technical details are available here. These technical details are available here. So what is the next point we have? My screen is being shared or not?
No, sir.
So nobody told me. I thought my screen was being shared. So here we were discussing about number of sessions, and then system status. System status. Here you can you will come to know in detail about product versions, right? For example, as you can see here, the SAP Business Suite which we are using is SAP S4 HANA on premise 2020. All right. So the product versions are available. Then here we have component versions which are available, right? So all that information is available. So the next point is we have here is system status transaction codes. What are transaction codes? For example, as we know, we use shortcut keys. So in SAP, those shortcut keys are called as transaction codes. Okay. For example, you can see here that there is a transaction code for every transaction or activity which we would like to carry out. For example, create a purchase order, for example. So that so when we can click on this here by following the menu path, or we can also directly type the transaction code. What is the so what is this transaction code? We first try to understand. Okay, so for example, for this particular transaction, the shortcut key of the transaction code is ME21N. When let me open a new session, and in this new session, this is session number 2, right? So this is session. So here in one session we have SAP Easy Access, in another session also here. So what I'm doing is I'm directly trying to access a particular transaction by typing this transaction code in the command bar. As you can see here, ME21N, and press enter. So it is taking us to that particular transaction. And similarly, I can follow the menu path here and then click here. It will take us to the same. You see, both took to the same us. So, so here we have the transaction codes. So what are these transaction codes? So the transaction codes, so the shortcut keys to access SAP system tasks or applications. Or here in applications, we have transactions, objects, customization, development, and all. And generally, the transaction, the length of the character length of the transaction code varies from 4 to 10 characters. For example, here, now I'm going back to home easy access. As you can see, ME221M is a 5 character, ME58 4 character, right? And if we go to our EWM, here we have 8 or 9 characters. For example, here in monitor, So yes, slash SCWM slash MON. Here we have almost like 9 characters. So the length or character length of the transaction code varies from 4 to 10. And these are nothing but shortcut keys. The short form of transaction code is T code. Okay, so we can use these T codes or transactions for to access applications or transactions. I think Shamshir, you were talking about a transaction code, right? When I was directly entering here. Shamshir, are you available?
Yeah. I'm there, sir.
Right. So you were talking about, so in your company, you are using SAP Retail or which SAP Business Suite?
SAP Retail only, sir.
SAP Retail you are using, right?
Yes.
Right. So as yesterday we discussed, different business suites are available, right? So SAP S4 HANA and then still it is ECC you are using or S4 HANA Retail.
Easy.
No.
SAP
ECC.
Easy Access only. ECC
Okay.
only, sir. Yes.
ECC you are using
Actually,
still. Yeah.
yeah, it's actually their person who was operating with Bangalore. We are not direct person to use this software actually. So we are just
Okay.
employer giving access
Mm-hmm.
to particular thing. That's it.
Right. Thank you. Now we are discussing about settings. So let's go to this one. Can you see here in extras, there is an option called setting. So what does it control? For example, can you see here, currently we have easy access and then favorites here. We can change the position as well. Or so in extras, in settings, currently as per our setting, we say display favorites at end of list. That is the reason why favorite is here. If we uncheck this one, then the favorite will come first. The favorite is coming first, right? So so we have settings. So let's say we normally keep favorite here and changes. So similarly, right now, as you can see, along with description, we can also see transaction codes, right? Like ME21N with a transaction, like ME22N to change. So change is that we say this is the transaction code, then the descriptions we have. So in settings, it is possible that we can also hide this transaction codes, which is nothing but technical name. So currently the display technical name is selected. That is the reason why the transaction codes are appearing. When I uncheck, only descriptions will appear. The transaction codes will be hidden. For example, like in purchase order, if I go to same thing, you see only descriptions are appearing. The transaction codes are hidden. So like this, we can control as per our requirement, and then all this one. So here in sometime we will be using our company image or logo here. So if that logo or image, if you want to display, then do not display pictures or hide. All that is possible here. So this is about settings, right? This is about settings, and then in the command bar here, which is called as command field or the bar, right? This one, this is called as command bar or command field, where we enter transaction codes. So to enter transaction codes that direct to SAP system, task, or application without using menu path. Because if we use transaction code, then we don't need to navigate menu path, right? And then we have commands. For example, right? So if I want to open a new session, then /I. sorry, /O, I can use shortcut key. A new session will open automatically, create, right? And now you see we have two sessions, these many sessions. And here in the same session, I want to open a new transaction. Then I will be using / and then the transaction code. Right. So to know more detail, here information is available here. Sorry, not create. If we click on this question mark, you will come to know about what is the use of / and /O and all that one. So as we progress, as we proceed, and as we start using them, you will have more clarity what is the purpose of / and /O / I and all before transaction codes. Okay, so that is about commands. Now we have SAP GUI options. So here to customize our user as per our business requirement, we have SAP GUI option. So now go to this one. Yeah, you can see here this one, customize local layout. When you click here, as per your requirement, you can customize your layout. For example, now like whatever font you want to keep, right? All currently I'm using Courier New 18 size. So here different font options are available, as you can use them. And the important thing which I wanted to highlight here is under interaction design, visualization 2 or visualization 1. Make sure you select this one, shows keys within drop down list and sort by keys. These two should be selected. What is the significance of this one? Later on we will discuss. But make sure whenever you are using SAP first time, you need to check this one. Okay, so this one, and then what we have, copy and paste. Yes, so in SAP, because as we know, normally what we do while using system, we use Control C to copy, Control V to paste, right? In SAP, we don't need to use Control C because if we select this particular option, can you see when you click? Can you see here this option in here in customize layout? Here, this is our customized local layout. When I click, and here we have quick cut and paste. If we select this quick cut and paste, what happens? We don't need to use Control C to copy. And for paste, of course, Control V. So what happened? For example, let's say here this is one. This is my screen. I'm doing transaction. Let's say this is my supplier number, for example. Right. So when I select this quick cut and paste, so let's say here, and then when I just select like this, then it will automatically copy. I don't need to press Control C to copy. And and then wherever you want to paste, then just Control V. So it will copy. So just copy here, and then so here, let me say Control. It is selected. Yeah, it was not selected. That is the reason why it was not copied. Now I'm selecting this quick cut and paste, and then after this one, I just select. I don't press Control C. I just select here, and whenever I want to paste, just Control V. So it will automatically paste. So no need to copy. So by that quick cut and paste option, that option which is available, because as a consultant, right, we need to make sure that in order to carry out all our activities, we should be using shortcut keys. Okay, quick cut and paste. And similarly, a number of other shortcut keys are available, like F1 for help, F3 for back, right? F4 for search, Control N for this, like this, right? So for example, if I want to know about a particular field, let's say I want to know about this particular field. So I just select this field and press F1. So it will give us information related to this particular field. So it is saying supplier or supplying plant detail we need to provide. So similarly, when I click on this particular field and I press F1, then say purchasing document number. What is this field is all about purchasing document number. So this is how a number of shortcut keys are also available here. I have listed out most commonly used shortcut keys. Right. So right. Yeah, any question related to SAP GUI? So today or tomorrow morning, I'm going to share with you 2 emails. One email to download and install this decentralized EWM where we will be using ECC and SCM, and another one for the remote desktop for S4 HANA. So 2 different emails to install or access different servers. I'm going to share with credentials and along with instructions how to install, right? So you need to install and access these ones. Right. So this is about whatever we discussed, right? So here, right. So we, as per our today's agenda, we are left with a Fiori app. So what we can do is, after fully understanding user interface, after fully understanding graphical user interface and using it, it will be easy to understand Fiori app. So what we will do is, we will discuss Fiori app later on after thoroughly using this GUI. So tomorrow what we will do is, we will start, as you can see here, some technical aspects we will discuss later, because for example, in order to understand SAP database tables, configuration tables and other, we must have some data available with us. So first we try, so that is the reason why we will, in our next session, we will start with SAP enterprise structure, then MM organizational structure, right? SD organizational structure, and then logistics organizational structure, logistics execution, and then we will start with our main module, because we cannot use EWM without MM, SD, and logistics. So that is the reason why first we try to understand enterprise structure or MM organizational structure, SD, logistics execution, and then from here. Okay, so this is how we will proceed. Yeah, any question before we conclude today's session?
Sir, me, Atif.
Yeah.
Sir, yesterday you sent a video of Amazon, right? The person who was explaining. So as soon as he kept the product into the rack, so like from there I didn't understand like how it gets fed into the system. So like how is that? Like if he keeps the product into the rack, right? That tracking system. So like how the this one gets updated to the product.
So yeah, here by using EWM, we will be making our warehouse management more efficient and automated. So what happens whenever, for example, Amazon, where we are managing millions of products, whenever we are receiving any product, system should guide our warehouse staff what to do with that particular product, whether that particular product required any quality inspection, whether we need to do deconsolidation, where this product must be stored, like this. And similarly, once this product is stored, while delivering to the customer, from where this product must be picked, how much must be picked, and all that stuff. So when we start using EWM, you will have you will have more clarity.
It's easy to access actually, sir.
Yes, yes,
needs
yes.
to give clear communication that is easy to access to, to give a right product to right customer.
Perfect. Perfect. That is the right point. Yes. So in your company, Shamsheer, you are using EWM or WM or any other?
I didn't check this, sir. Actually, I just want to go ahead because you have shown me the system access how to see right now. So I have
Yes, yes.
seen that. I'll go and I'll check and I'll let you know.
Right, right. That's good idea. Right. So any other
Thanks for
question? Yeah, you're. So any other question before we conclude today's session?
Sir, actually, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, you said that what is that? The person will keep some things in the particular rack.
Okay.
So he is going to check quality manually, or else that is automated by using sensors or like that.
No, again, which system company is using, right? So if they are doing quality inspection manually, then the persons will be doing. If the quality inspection is carried out by machines or sensors, then the product will go through that one. Okay, so that is part of quality management department.
Actually, it's used to say a product what the product is coming. They'll go with product checking. Like if it's in garment apparel, they'll go with the apparel person. Or if
Yes.
it's grocery, it will go with grocery. If it's
Perfect.
mobile tech, then it will go mobile tech. Like
Perfect.
that.
Perfect. Yes. Yes.
No, sir, that is identified by the sensors, no? If there is no person to pick up and place that one.
So system will guide whether this quality inspection will be carried out by manually or by system.
No, sir. Actually, I am not talking about quality. So
picking
what kind
the
of material?
Product you are saying, PPT.
Yes,
with PPT, they are just picking a sir. That he was saying. Actually, they are keeping a barcode, right? With the barcode only, they're tracing and they're picking the product from the rack.
Okay.
Right? You're saying that only, nothing.
Yes, for identifying the product.
They'll give a barcode with that, and the barcode will goes and sits in which rack code. They'll give one rack code. So according to rack code, they'll give that barcode. So we need to. It will be updated in that PPT. Once we'll go and we'll check that barcode, then it will show which rack is available.
Okay, but that all is done manually or automated, sir?
No, it's automatically generated with system itself.
System will guide.
If it is,
system will guide.
Yes, sir. If it is automatic, then the man handling labor cannot be assisted, no? That is automatically shifted to that place.
No, meaning again, if we are using conveyor systems or robots, then the conveyor systems and robots will take care of it.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, if we are not using, so those are called as fully automated warehouses. In fully automated warehouses, that is also possible. In case of semi-automated, where we have a manual as well as robots and the conveyor systems.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so in our training, you will come to know how we can do it manually as well as automatically by using conveyor systems, robots, and all.
Yeah, okay, fine, sir.
Okay, right. So I really appreciate all participants for actively participating.
Sir, I have another one doubt.
Yes.
Sir, actually, graphic user interface, what you explained. So graphic user interface means what we see
here.
Yes,
this
sir.
Was the screen which we are seeing. The screen.
No, sir, actually, that is not
this one. Now let me open again. This is what we are accessing. This is called as graphical user interface. This is called as graphical user. Okay.
Yes, sir. But in generally graphic user interface means in our mobile also we have user interfaces.
That yeah.
Yes, sir. That is what simple I was trying to
understand
say or discuss about that.
Yeah.
Means
So in
whatever we
SAP,
see.
in SAP, whatever we see here, it is called as graphical user interface.
Yes, okay, sir. And we can change it according to ourselves.
No,
According to
meaning
our
within
content.
in this one, what you can customize it.
Yes, sir. That is what
Yeah,
customize
you
means
can
we can
you can
change according to our settings, or else what we have
settings. Yes, users, SAP users, as per their requirement, they can do the settings or customize. Like in your
change.
mobile also, you can do it, right?
Yes, sir. We can.
In that
Yes,
way.
sir. Oh, okay, fine.
Right.
Sir, one more thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that.
Sir.
Yes, Mr. Atif, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Actually, you're talking about the GUI, right? The graphic
Yes.
user interface.
Yeah.
So SAP HTML uses Internet Explorer as an operating system, right?
Yeah.
So what does SAP use? Does it use Linux as an operating system? What you said?
No. So here, if you look at GUI family, in GUI family here, which we just discussed. So the SAP GUI for HTML, this is actually our Fiori app, which we will be using it, which is compatible with browsers like Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, and all. Okay, which is a Fiori app. Let me open a Fiori app for you to have more clarity. So let's go to home screen, and here we have Fiori app. Don't know. All right. Can you see here? There is a link to access Fiori app. Can you see here? SAP Fiori Launchpad. So when I click here, it will open in a browser. It is opening in the Internet Explorer. So just click on continue to this website. So like in browser, it will open. The fields are all remain same. Only it's like a it is a desktop application. This is like a web-based application. That is the only difference, right? For example, here, if I go to the same transaction, create purchase order, you will see same screen. Since it is web-based, so based on internet speed, you will see its response. And now I'm going to we will see create purchase order. Purchase order. It's a web-based. So a little slow compared to GUI. So now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to click on create purchase order screen. Oh, let's go back. No, sorry, go back. So yes. Create purchase order. Now we are comparing GUI and Fiori app. Both are user interfaces. GUI is desktop based. Fiori app is a web based. Right. Now I'm click on create purchase order. Now if you see, you can create purchase order here. You can in Fiori app, and you can also create purchase order in GUI. However, the screen, the fields remain same. For example, now go to create purchase order screen in GUI. You see same fields like supplier, all that, and here also same. You see here. fields, everything remains same. Only the difference is it is web-based and GUI is a desktop-based.
Okay, sir, got it. Thanks.
But by using both the user interfaces, you do same thing.
But this one is comparatively slow, right? Compared to
Yeah,
this
compared
one,
to GUI, it is
yeah.
this because this is
Nice.
web-based one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Right. So right. So any other question before we conclude?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, when you were showing that PDF,
Uh-huh.
uh, I saw that the
Which
SAP
PDF?
is origin of what is that? Yes, it is a platform based on Linux.
This
The
one.
software is developed in Linux. Yes, sir. But we
Here,
are using this in Windows.
right. So here, yeah, in this one, you are talking about in systems, in status, you want to say, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is, you are talking about
So
this
that
operating
is,
system Linux, right? So,
yes, sir.
so
Yes,
here, I
Ask
believe,
data is Linux. Yes.
yeah, this operating, you are talking about this one,
Yes, sir. Yes.
and you are trying to
That
say
means
that you are trying to say that here, whatever I mentioned.
software is
So
based on Linux, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, so here, as you can see, we have different the GUI families, right? GUI for Windows, GUI for Java, GUI. So here we have different things available. So I just need to update,
Yes,
but
sir.
the
But
technical details are available here.
no, sir. Yes, sir. But what is the problem in, sir? They are giving license to us for using for Windows and any other operating system. But actually, that core operating system is Linux. So that is what they have mentioned, I think.
Right.
They have developed the software on Linux, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So this is more into technical. This is more into
Yes,
technical. ABAP consultants,
yes,
basis consultants are responsible, but from functional point of view,
okay.
to know, like we say in our system, we check configuration. So similarly in SAP,
Yes.
if you want to check technical details, so here we can see all these details. Yeah, in this.
Okay.
Okay, like which product version and others, all that information is available. Right. So, right, I believe,
Sir,
yeah.
yes.
Your voice is not clear, Mr. Sridhar.
Desktop means we can use offline.
No. Because we are connecting to because this is connected through a server.
Servers.
So we should be online.
Yes.
Okay. We should be online. It is because it is connected to server, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that is the reason. Why we are calling it as desktop based, because here we can install this SAP logon and use. That is the reason why GUI is called as desktop based. Fiori app, we directly access. We don't install Fiori app. We directly access online. So you see here, I have logon. I have installed this SAP logon. So that is the reason why it is called as desktop based.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, right. So now let's conclude today's session here. Then we'll see you in the next session. Okay. Thank you. And I'm going to share credentials and other server details. Please install. Yeah. Any question?
Sir, one more thing, sir. The video which you have sent is not getting played in my laptop also.
So I will resend. And
yeah,
please, I will resend. Yeah. Any other question from anyone?
No,
right.
sir.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you in the next session. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.